The day began overcast, with intensely dark clouds. Odd, because the air didn't hint of rain. Nor had their weather forecasters anticipated a storm, but the ominous press of the sky seemed determined to defy their usual accurate predictions. Griff woke, as he usually did, grumpy at the fact he had to leave his comfortable bed. Alas, his teachers expected him to be present for his lessons, as did his father. He knew better than to skip. His rear end still recalled the sting of the one time he chose to miss a boring day in the classroom. Rather than eat alone at home, he had his breakfast in the communal dining hall. The young boy paid little mind to the whispering around him and the strained, even frightened expressions on many faces. Adults could be strange about so many things. His father was absent, as were many others that morn. Of late, they'd been working longer hours than usual. After breaking his fast, Griff hurried to school, his nose wrinkling at the putrid smell perfuming the air. Most likely an experiment gone wrong. It happened, and while the labs did their best to contain the results, sometimes things escaped. As he entered the classroom, he noticed only half the students were present. He slid into a seat beside Jorge and, after a glance around, asked, "Where is everyone?" "Dunno, but I saw a bunch of people heading for the pier on my way in," Jorge replied. "Are we expecting a ship or someone important?" The usual reason why people hurried to the docks, though Griff had heard of no visiting dignitary that would justify an exodus, and, quite frankly, the only cargo that ever excited him involved the mighty horses that came from across the world. One day he'd own a Volak and fly across the beach like the wind. "Haven't heard of anything arriving, but my mum was muttering about bad omens this morning." Jorge rolled his eyes. "Dad told her to stop being so superstitious." Their teacher, Lucen, entered. The slender man would give them their lessons on history, geography, and world politics. Boring. It would be followed by an hour of calisthenics and weapons training, Griff's favourite part of the day. Then their midday meal, after which it would be time for the hair-pulling math, literature, and to end their day, science. More than once Griff complained to his father about the last because, unlike some of his peers, Griff had no interest in how things work, whether they be living or mechanical. His father usually offered him a stern look and said, "Just because you don't like it doesn't mean you shouldn't understand it." And so Griff suffered. "It would seem we're missing a few classmates," Lucen stated. He might have said more, only the floor trembled slightly. No one paid it much mind. After all, the research facility for the advancement of science and technology often did things that resulted in explosions, which Griff thought more interesting than learning the difference between gear and pulley systems. "Seems like our scientists are at it early today," Lucen said with a chuckle. As their teacher opened his mouth again, a stronger vibration shook the classroom, rattling desks and chairs, even knocking a few drawings off the wall. "Everyone, remain calm," Lucen shouted, as the students began to murmur and squirm in their seats. They might have listened if the shaking had not continued. One of the boys near the front, his expression pale and worried, rose. "I think I'm going to go find my mother.